Good day, everyone, and welcome to another segment on the bench. Today I'm going to tie you up an old classic fly that actually catches a lot of fish. It's a pretty fly to look at and fun to tie. Just if you're tying for a hobby or whatever, it's a great one to try. And it's been around a long time, like I say, because the fish do eat this. It's been very productive. The Royal Coachman. And there's many knockoffs of the Royal Coachman over the years. So let's go over the materials we need to tie the fly. I'm going to be tying this one today on a size 12 Daiichi P10 dry fly hook. I'm going to be using some spider thread here from the Semperfli 18-aught brown. We'll be using some the tippets here, golden pheasant tippet. For the tailing material, I'm going to be using some extra fine gold wire for the rib. We're going to be using some 1X single strand red floss for the midsection, and the body I'll be using some peacock green or peacock herl here in bright green, and then the wings will be duck quill, and there's a left and a right in each peg. So we'll get a hook in the vise and tie one of these beautiful little flies up. Some guys are putting the hackle in behind as well as the front. The way I do my wings, I usually just put the hackle in the front so I don't screw up my duck quill wings, which can be a little bit of a challenge to tie. Then we'll come in with our tailing material here. I'll just cut it right off the feather. That way everything, these bars stay all nice and even. On top of the shank, that's going to be hook length. Then I'll bring in 3 or 4 strands of this peacock herl by the tips. I'll just kind of measure that off about the length of the body, just to the tying point of the tail. I'll grab some of my extra fine. This is actually really, really fine gold wire. Does not add any weight to the pattern at all. Barely see it, but it helps reinforce. Adds a little to the pattern too, I'd say, but I'm usually worried about more of the durability of it. Kind of help that peacock herl survive a few fish. Wrap the butt in there, and I'll leave my peacock herl on there. Just grab my red floss, a little nip of that. Single strand is easier than 4 or 5 strand floss. Get our midsection in here. Where just want, give me your little grief today. And I'll tie that floss off in the center. I just leave the peacock there ready to go. A lot of guys will cut that off and add it again. A nice little red band in there. Tied in by the butts, you'll see the front section is a little bit heavier than the rear. Then I'm going to reverse wrap with this really super fine gold wire. Just helps add a little durability to the pattern there, as you can see. There. Then I'll bring in my duck quill wings, and I want just a little section off each side. The left and the right, you get about the same thickness of quill. Get the tips so they match up. Then I'll get them on each side of the shank. a couple soft turns and then straight up. That's more like the no quill, or no hackle fly that my Glosson ties. I just blew up on me there. If you get it going around the shank on you, you're beat. Better get another little thread base on there so don't move. Let me do the wings again. You'll probably have to play with these a little bit yourself. Once you sit down, you tie a few of these, you get onto it, and then it's a little more. And that's one thing about fly tying. Repetition is way you learn. And I would always say this: if a pattern's worth tying, I wouldn't just go in there with tie one of each. Make sure you got at least half a dozen in your box. The more you tie, you'll notice when you tie the first fly, and you'll say you're tying a dozen, the last flies are going to be better than your first one. Okay, we'll go around there again with 2 soft loops, pull up, and then I'll get those butts turned down this time. I should have my wings set in there nice. There, everything's going to hold in place this time. I didn't have my thread base underneath the last time I try to set those wings up. Just be careful you're not catching anything out of here you don't want. Take your time, get some nice little scissors, little points. My quill is not really the best quality one I find in my box either. Kind of sets in like the no hackle. It's got the wings set the same way. It's really good. There, and then we'll just bring in our Coachman brown saddle hackle here. It's dyed grizzly. You just go with Coachman brown, tie it dull side forward. Leave my thread behind the eye. And we'll get about 5 turns or so in here for Ken. Put some good lot of hackle on there, that's good. Trim off the tip. I'll bring in my Mattarellis in here just to if you're having trouble with your hackle getting in the eye, here's the other idea. Just take your bodkin needle. A lot of times they have these half-hitch tools at the end. Take a half-hitch, pull that in there. Let's get my bobbin here. I got away on me. There we go. Okay. Keep some pressure on it. And then you can just go in there with a few half-hitches, and that'll keep your hackle out of the eye. And you got it tied off good. You don't even need to cement that, but you can if you like. Stand them wings up a little bit more, or throw them out, however. But it's a great little pattern. Royal Coachman. It's a pretty little fly, a lot of fun to tie. Fish love to eat it, so you'll look pretty classy when you're throwing that dry fly out there at these beautiful trout. Might as well throw a beautiful fly at them. So there it is, a Royal Coachman. Thanks for watching.